Megan McDonald, born in 1983, relocated to Middletown, New York, with her parents at the tender age of 7 months. She shared a close bond with her sister Karen and 2 younger brothers, with whom she experienced everything from Little League games to movie nights. The sisters, Megan and Karen, were inseparable best friends. Known for her compassion, Megan often rescued stray animals and displayed remarkable warmth even towards adults. As Karen entered college, she found love with James Juan. When James nervously faced the prospect of meeting Karen's family for the first time, 16-year-old Megan effortlessly alleviated his anxiety. Her genuine warmth and hospitality made him feel like an immediate member of the family, setting a comfortable tone for their future interactions. Megan possessed a vibrant imagination, evident in her decision to name the family cat Pumpkin, a choice made to ensure James Juan felt fully integrated into the family dynamic. After graduating from Burke Catholic High School in the class of 2000, Megan pursued her education at SUNY Orange in Middletown. Opting for the proximity to her home, Megan found joy in attending the community college. Fueled by her affection for children, she contemplated a career that would allow her regular interaction with them. In 2002, Megan and her family faced a profound loss with the unexpected passing of her father, Dennis McDonald, a retired detective from the New York Police Department who succumbed to a heart attack at the age of 47. Despite the tragedy, the family continued to unite, gathering for Christmas that year, unaware that it would mark Megan's final holiday season with them. A poignant family video captures the moment when Megan joyfully unwraps a box of sweaters, exuding warmth and gratitude as she playfully places the bow on her head, showcasing her genuine and gracious spirit. Megan secured her initial job around the same period, marking the commencement of her efforts to rebuild her life following her father's passing. Karen fondly remembered the moment Megan bought coffee with her own hard-earned money, a proud reflection of her accomplishments in that inaugural job. Realizing she could forge ahead, Megan made a significant decision a year after her father's passing. In March 2003, she took a leap towards independence by signing a lease for an apartment near Middletown in the quaint town of Wallkill, New York. Eager to embark on her journey as an adult, Megan's newfound freedom was unfortunately brief. On March 13, 2003, Megan, employed at the American Cafe in Galleria Mall, diligently waited tables from 10:00 a.m. to 3:00 p.m. Following her shift, she strolled to a nearby bank's ATM for a cash withdrawal. At precisely 3:10 p.m., she was spotted on Greenway Terrace in Wallkill, New York. Despite being invited to a birthday party by acquaintances, Megan declined, citing plans with other friends in Middletown. Little did she know that this decision would shape the events to come. Later that evening, Megan spent time at a friend's house, engrossed in the TV show Friends from 7:30 p.m. to 12:00 a.m. When she left her friend's place, she mentioned the need for a good night's sleep to avoid being tardy for work the next day. Unbeknownst to her friend, this would be their final meeting. Rather than heading directly home, Megan made a detour to attend a birthday party in the Greenway Terrace area of Wallkill. As she waited in her car, 2 departing friends engaged in a brief conversation with her. Megan informed them that she was expecting to meet someone. At 12:30 a.m., just after midnight, Megan McDonald was last seen alive by anyone. Megan failed to appear for her afternoon shift at the American Cafe, prompting concerned colleagues to leave voicemails on her phone. Growing anxious as she remained out of touch, her friends and family observed her unresponsiveness to calls and text messages. Fearing the worst, Megan's mother enlisted Karen to check on her. Initially annoyed by what seemed like irresponsibility, Karen and James' once concern deepened throughout the day, compounded by their inability to locate her despite living 2 hours away from her last known whereabouts. As daylight transitioned to night, their apprehension intensified, culminating in devastating news the following day. In a shocking discovery, a man and his nephew stumbled upon a distressing scene at 229 Bowser Road in the town of Wallkill. Horrified to find the lifeless body of a young woman lying at an unusual angle, They promptly dialed 911. Upon arriving at the scene, the New York State Police successfully identified the deceased individual as 20-year-old Megan McDonald by examining her driver's license. A subsequent autopsy revealed that Megan had succumbed to fatal injuries inflicted by a blunt object. Detective Brad Natalizio provided additional details, describing the location near Bowser Road as a narrow dirt trail culminating in a secluded cul-de-sac within an isolated field. The detective surmised that Megan must have been acquainted with the person who led her there, given the perilous nature of venturing alone to such a remote location at night. It became apparent that Megan was in the company of someone she trusted, who tragically took her life. Investigations by the state police uncovered that Megan owned a 1991 Mercury Sable, although the vehicle was not present at the crime scene. Consequently, a search was initiated to locate her car. Local law enforcement sought media coverage to aid in unraveling the mystery surrounding Megan's death. Days later, a tip led the police to the Kensington Manor apartment complex, where Megan's vehicle was discovered parked. The examination uncovered that the vehicle had been stationed there since the early morning, approximately at 8:00 a.m. on March 14th, indicating an extended period of presence. It was apparent that the driver hastily departed, leaving behind a trail of clues. Investigators amassed a substantial amount of evidence, seizing numerous items pivotal for a comprehensive DNA analysis. More than 700 items were meticulously bagged and stored for further examination. It was deduced that an individual occupied the driver's seat of Megan's car and inflicted a fatal blow upon her. Despite initial efforts, the case stagnated without additional leads, leaving Megan's fate shrouded in mystery for an extended period. Detectives Brad Natalizio and Michael Carletta, who were familiar with the missing woman due to their upbringing in the area, recognized Megan's case as the most significant local enigma in a considerable span. 2 decades later, on the somber 20th anniversary of Megan's tragic demise, her case gained prominence on the widely watched TV show Dateline. The broadcast sparked renewed efforts in solving the mystery. In 2018, the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit took charge of the investigation, seeking to profile the suspect and formulate a coherent theory. After a meticulous review of crime scene and autopsy photos, coupled with an exhaustive examination of case files containing over 800 leads and interviews, their conclusions aligned with those reached at Troop F Barracks on Crystal Run Road in Wallkill. The assailant displayed the classic traits of narcissistic personality disorder, as outlined in the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. This includes a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, fantasy behavior, a constant need for admiration, and a lack of empathy, manifesting in various contexts from early adulthood. Detectives Natalizio and Carletta took on the case in 2017, armed with valuable insights from local narratives they had absorbed during their upbringing. Natalizio, who shared Megan's age and hailed from Orange County, had a long-standing commitment to solving her case. Even after changing jobs, he continued to pursue justice for Megan, fostering collaboration across different departments and engaging the community. Having joined the NYPD in 2006, Natalizio's personal connection to the case was deepened by his wife, a registered nurse who worked alongside Megan's mother. This familial tie served as a motivating factor, particularly as his wife encouraged him to resolve Megan's case upon any promotion. The investigative duo initiated the process by re-interviewing all witnesses and suspects. Their journey led them back to Kensington Manor Apartments, where they uncovered intriguing details. Around 12:30 on the night of Megan's tragic demise, a witness noticed her distinctive white car with a black stripe. What drew the witness's attention, however, was the thunderous music emanating from the vehicle's system, prompting her to investigate further. Megan's vehicle had a dark Honda Civic hatchback tailing it as they both navigated the large loop within the complex. The persistent thumping music echoed through the surroundings as both cars circled back. This established a timeline indicating Megan's last known presence at 12:15 12:30 a.m., narrowing the window for the crime to have occurred between 12:30 a.m. and 8:00 a.m. The prevailing theory suggested that two individuals in the trailing car somehow infiltrated Megan's vehicle, with one assailant in the back seat and a companion in the passenger seat, exerting a level of control over Megan, possibly on a psychological level. The journey led them to a secluded field off Bowser Road, a hidden spot known for gatherings of teenagers and young adults. The entrance was discreet, easily overlooked by the uninitiated, yet the assailant navigated unerringly, aware that the isolated area ensured minimal risk of detection. The silence in the surroundings was so profound that even the distant hum of a train engine could be heard from the spot. An altercation possibly ensued between Megan and the assailant, escalating into a violent rage. The assailant repeatedly struck her with a blunt object in this desolate location. The passenger, seated beside Megan, likely found themselves in a state of shock. Despite the gravity of the situation, the assailant managed to dissuade them from reporting the incident to the authorities. After disposing of her remains, the two individuals returned Megan's car to its parking spot before fleeing the scene. Investigative efforts focused on examining items taken from Megan's vehicle, with the cybergenetics private lab assigned to reevaluate the DNA in 2023, testing the latest forensic technology advancements. Lamar Advertising, a company committed to promoting Megan, generously supported her visibility for several years. They sponsored 7 billboards along State Route 17 in Orange and Sullivan counties, as well as on Interstate 84 in Orange County, encouraging individuals with any information to step forward. In the pursuit of justice, the NYPD Detectives Union and the FBI took significant steps by offering rewards totaling $220,000 for information related to Megan's case. Before conclusive DNA results emerged, the distinctive Honda Civic with a powerful audio system came to the forefront. This led investigators to identify 2 suspects, one notably being Megan's ex-boyfriend, Edward Holly, while the second suspect remained unnamed in public records. Surprisingly, it was later disclosed that the second suspect had passed away in 2010. An intriguing detail emerged as investigators uncovered a voicemail left by him on Megan's phone at 1:24 a.m. on March 9, 2003, featuring loud music in the background. Financial records added another layer to the mystery, revealing Megan's account balance of $21.92 after depositing $1,158.33 into her HSBC account. However, on March 10, she overdrafted the account by $869.92 in 3 transactions. In his interviews, Holly confessed to owing Megan $300 for her assistance in purchasing a sought-after purple 1990 Honda Civic hatchback. This car became pivotal in the unfolding events. On the fateful day of the crime, Megan engaged in a confrontation with Edward Holly, a fact he acknowledged in all his police interviews. Additional information surfaced when Megan's landlord stepped forward. On March 13, 2003, at around 9:00 a.m., the landlord witnessed a man in Megan's apartment on Karen Drive, whose identity remains undisclosed in official documents. Approximately an hour later, Megan dropped him off at his residence on Sheffield Drive in Wallkill before heading to work. The decision to forego the party on Greenway Terrace was intriguingly linked to Edward Holly's presence at the event. Investigation into the matter revealed that Megan, in her quest for marijuana, contacted various sources. She made a call at 10:57 p.m., followed by another at 11:25 p.m., but was unsuccessful in securing any substance. At 12:05 a.m., a witness observed her at the AAT&T gas station on 152 Wisner Avenue in Middletown, requesting a Dutch, slang for a marijuana cigarette. Although her car was parked outside, the witness noted no occupants. Megan persistently contacted a second suspect throughout the night. The final call at 12:25 a.m. involved her, picking him up at his residence on Cindy Lane in Wallkill. Seated in the passenger seat, he informed her of his lack of marijuana supply, prompting Meghan to express her intention to obtain it from Edward Hawley. Witnesses observed Hawley leaving the party shortly before midnight on March 13. Just after the clock struck midnight on March 14th, both Hawley and Meghan's phones registered signals from the towers in the Scotchtown area of Walkill. This time frame aligned with when officers suspected Meghan encountered her assailant. Although Hawley acknowledged knowing that Meghan was outside the party, he insisted he went directly home to 66 Sandburg Court in Walkill. Contradicting his claim, both cell phone tower data and eyewitness accounts placed him near the crime scene. With a history of domestic violence, Hawley had a compelling motive to harm Meghan, owing her a significant amount of money. The FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit played a crucial role in piecing together the intricate details of the case. One plausible scenario suggested a disagreement between Hawley and the outspoken Meghan, a theory supported by Meghan's sister Karen. The possibility loomed that Meghan and her ex-partner engaged in a heated dispute, resulting in a violent outburst. Meghan's final outgoing call at 12:30 a.m. was to Hawley, who asserted it was a request for marijuana. However, this positioned Hawley as the last person to have seen her alive. Considering his checkered history, his locations at the time, and his failure to disclose his presence with Meghan during the critical time frame, Hawley emerged as a significant and viable suspect in the investigation. On April 23, 2023, Edward Hawley was apprehended by the New York State Police and charged with second-degree murder in connection to the death of Meghan. Hawley, who had lost the use of his legs in a 2007 car crash, was already incarcerated for probation violations related to a narcotics case in October 2021. Now, 42 years old, Hawley would have been 22 at the time of Meghan's tragic demise. As he was being wheeled away in an orange jumpsuit, Hawley vehemently protested his innocence to the cameras, declaring his love for Meghan. His two daughters rushed to his side in a show of support, while the McDonald family, shouting justice for Meghan, expressed their grief. The second suspect in the case reportedly took his own life, and the police have yet to release his name. Regrettably, due to a procedural error by the prosecutors, Hawley was released without bail. This mistake stemmed from a failure to present the case to a grand jury within the required time frame. Despite this, Hawley had to make court appearances in June and August. His next hearing is scheduled for after Thanksgiving, and if convicted, he could face 25 years to life in prison. Meghan's family found solace in the identification of the man responsible for her untimely death. While Karen lamented that her younger sister would never witness the series finale of her favorite show, Friends, the family expressed gratitude for the chance to bid her a proper farewell. They acknowledged the rarity of such swift recovery of the body, contrasting with cases where closure is delayed.